your time. We all know that you had a couple of other teams to visit. What happened over the last 24 hours and how did this thing come together so quickly?
Uh, it was a crazy week. I started off in Paris, uh, flew to California the next day, flew out here, met with the staff, great meetings, everything went good. Sitting down with the whole staff, just going over a plan, a process, and everything went smooth. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I feel like I got a great opportunity ahead of me, so I'm just looking forward to it.
Mike, at what point did you hear about the breakfast sandwich that was waiting for you?
I actually heard about it on Twitter like a couple of days before. Uh, he said he was gonna send it to the facility the night before, and then I guess he found out that I was flying in the next day. So I guess he got it situated to send it. But yeah, the sandwich was actually pretty good though, for real, for real.
Mike,
Mike,
can you
where are
say
you at?
why you chose the Jets? I mean, I know you said everything went smooth and everything, but
Yeah.
what appealed to you? What did you
Well,
like?
for me personally, I just felt like it was a great fit for me. Uh, Aaron, I want to be able to, play with him, pick his brain, learn from him. Playing alongside Garrett kind of remind me of Keenan a little bit. Similar style play, great route runners, and I feel like we can complement each other in that area. The running game is pretty good. Defense is elite. So I just feel like we got a pretty good opportunity ahead of us. Just looking forward to it.
Mike, where are you at in terms of your rehab from the ACL, and when do you think you'll be able to be on the field?
Well, I'm about 4.5 months out, right on schedule. My main focus is just coming in every day, putting in the work, and just continue to grind. That's my thing. Everything is on schedule. Everything is looking good. So just keep the main thing, and that's continue to get it better every day and just focus on that.
When you say on schedule, do you mean you expect to be ready for week one, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Right. The training camp still up in the air, or is that take it as it comes?
We're going to see.
One follow-up on it, you mentioned Aaron wanting to play with him. Do you know him at all? Have you interacted with him during your career? Did he recruit you at all for this position?
No, I wouldn't say I was recruited. We met a couple times, just player, just playing against each other. Just saying congratulations after a game or something. But nah, he didn't recruit me. Haven't got in contact with him yet. Getting his number today, so looking forward to that interaction.
Mike, you've been able to play with some pretty great quarterbacks in your career. You had Phillip Rivers and Herbert, and now you're going to Rodgers. Like, do you feel like kind of blessed as a receiver that you've kind of had that kind of journey through the NFL with quarterbacks and get you the ball like that?
For sure, makes my job a lot easier. Also make their job easier too, having a guy like me out there to go out there and compete with them. But yeah, I've been pretty privileged having good quarterbacks out throughout my career. So looking forward to working with Aaron, getting together with the rest of the guys and see where it goes.
You were a pretty dominant receiver in 2021 with 1,100 yards. I think that was a career high for you. How confident are you that, in spite of the injury, that you'll be able to get back to being that kind of player?
I'm very confident. I'm putting in the work to be able to do that. So I feel like I'm gonna get good results from this. So my main focus right now is not the numbers. It's more so getting healthy, getting everything back to 100%, and then the numbers will speak for itself.
Is that it for Mike?
I had one more, Megan. Mike, obviously there was a lot of speculation with the Chargers in terms of the cap with you and Keenan and Khalil Mack and Bosa. Were you surprised that they let you go, or kind of what was your feeling there?
I mean, not really. I mean, they kind of clean slate, got a whole new staff, GM, everything. Wasn't really much communication on that side of things, so it was kind of expected. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy where I'm at now. Everything, happens for a reason. So just attack this situation.
Hey, Morgan, thank you for your time. First of all, secondly, can you just describe? I mean, obviously, you came by trade, not free agency. Did you get wind of it? How much advance notice did you get, and how this whole thing came together?
It's truly funny, man, because I went from texting Derrick Henry Tuesday night to finding out Wednesday around noon that I was being traded. So I literally had no idea what was taking place at the time, but I'm truly happy to be back in New York.
Morgan, what do you think about some of the other moves the Jets have made? Obviously, Mike Williams, you didn't play with Aaron when you were here last time. Your buddy John Simpson. Can you talk about some of the other stuff?
Definitely, man. I'll start with John. Especially being able to play with him last year. John has been a guy that I've been able to watch. Over the last year and a half because we got him. When we were with the Ravens, we got him the year prior, late. From the Raiders, and you can tell that the guy was enthusiastic. He was ready to go to work. He didn't have much of a foundation background on like coaching, so he kind of had to learn a lot of things through that off season. But I'll tell you one thing about him, man. He came into the off season, changed his whole body, his whole mindset. He knew that there was a day one opening at left guard with the Ravens and training camp, man. Day one, he took that head on, and you could tell that was his job from day one. And it turned out to be an amazing season for him, and I'm excited for him to be able to obviously he called me as being his big bro. He called me, he's like, man, tell me about the Jets. And I was like, bro, you're gonna love it there, bro. You're gonna love it. And so being able to have a guy that you obviously know, going through the free agency portal and all those things, I look forward to obviously lacing up the cleats and putting on the helmets and shoulder pads with them again. So I look forward to it.
Morgan, does it almost feel like you're coming back to a different team? There's been so much turnover, obviously, since you were here in 2021. Like, is it kind of a weird feeling coming back here with all these new faces?
Not really a weird feeling, man, because obviously I've been a fan, truly a fan of Coach Saleh since I got there the first time. We're basically rookies at the Jets at the same year, and so I got to learn a lot about him as him being a first time head coach and how he operates. And I've always been excited for him, right? And obviously, how things turned out with Aaron getting hurt the first game of the season, pretty much derailed the course of that season. But one thing about him, he's energetic, man, and he has that defense flying around. And so anytime you have a top five defense in the league and you have a quarterback that's a true Hall of Famer, you have opportunities to win games. And so although there's a lot of different, I don't think there's one offensive coach that is there that I was there with. But none of that matters. And I've been around the league for a long time and I played in multiple offenses. So I just look forward to getting in the building and getting to work.
You never played with Tyron Smith, obviously, but I'm sure from afar you've admired what he's done in the league. Could you what are your thoughts on what kind of player he is and to be teaming up with him?
100%, man. Obviously I got to see him play a lot closely when I was in Washington and he was in Dallas. So, I mean, obviously the makeup of his career has been amazing. The things he's done through his career and the things he's still doing, obviously to come back this year and play at a high level. For me, I'm always in the learning curve. I feel like I can always get better. I can always learn different tricks. And so I look forward to just picking his brain, because he's done it at a high level for so long. And I just look forward to pairing with him and learning what I can from him. And obviously, hopefully he can learn a little bit from me. But at the end of the day, man, we bookends, and that's something special when you have bookend tackles. And so I look forward to pairing with him and just getting to work.
Morgan, I think I read that you were dealing with an injury for a lot of last year. How much do you think that affected you last season, and did you have to have surgery after the season?
Definitely, man. I actually tore my pec week 4, which was pretty fun, and I played the whole season with it, and just learned how to manage through it and everything like that. And I had surgery about 6 weeks ago, sorry. But I'm feeling great. I'm moving around. I'm working out, getting back in shape and things like that. And so I look forward to just getting around the guys and obviously doing the things that I need to do to get back on the field. and prepare myself the way I need to. And obviously, this is not my first rodeo with having surgery and things like that. So, I like the fact that I was able to, pretty much go through the whole season with that injury and play at a high level. So I look forward to having two arms this year. So it's been a fun ride.
Morgan, obviously the Jets had a lot of issues on the line last year with injuries and all this other stuff. If healthy, what do you think of the line as it is right now?
Right. I mean, you look just in not just the offensive line, you just look at the makeup of what Coach Saleh and Joe Douglas has done in the offseason, Mike Williams, just John Simpson and just reassuring the offensive line and all the pieces that they already had. But for me, it sounds good. It looks good on paper, but at the end of the day, man, offensive line is 5 = 1. So it's our job to get in there and learn the playbook, do what we need to do, and gel as an offensive line unit. So when we get out there on Sundays, we get out there in training camp, we can hit the ground running. We already know what everybody's thinking. We have the same mindset. And that's what the offensive line is about. It doesn't matter if you're a starter or not a starter. You have to prepare yourself as a starter. And I look forward to just bringing a certain mentality to the room and just being around the guys and just helping us grow in any way possible.
You anticipate being ready for training camp?
Yes, sir. 100%.
Hey, John, how's it going?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good. So Morgan was just telling us that when you signed with the Jets, you texted him asking him about New York, and then you find out, I'm sure, the next day that or a couple days later, that he's going to be your teammate again. Like, what go through the emotions of like that whole process there, where you went from that to him joining you?
Yeah, I thought it was crazy because he actually he called me. He was like, "How you feel about the Jets, man?" And I was like, they're in there, they're in the mix. And so after I made the decision to come here, I was like, I called him and I was like, bro, like, tell me what it's like you said. And he gave me all the rundown and everything. And like you said, not too much long after, he was up there with me. And I called him. I was in the barbershop. I called him and I was like, bro, like, why didn't you say nothing when we talked last night? Like the other night, he was like, bro, I didn't know. So I think it's cool, man. It's gonna be fun.
You give us, John, it seemed like you really kind of blossomed last year in Baltimore after a
Mhm.
few years with the Raiders. Could you just talk about your career path and how things kind of clicked for you last year?
Yeah, I felt like so the beginning I got drafted with the Raiders, played there for 3 years. The new coaching staff came in and they had their guys. They drafted a guy in the draft and whatever. So I just felt like they didn't really want me there, and I kind of lost my confidence and stuff like that along the way. And then when the Ravens picked me up, it was like a brand new start. It kind of gave me like a fresh start and a way to show myself and basically just like create a new identity for me. And I feel like that's what I needed. I needed a new jump start, and I think it's paid. It's like paid off. It's helped a lot for me. So it's been really big for me, and I can't do nothing but appreciate what the Ravens organization helped me do.
What about the Jets appeal to you, John?
I mean, if you think of it's New York, first of all, I'm gonna start there. And I just feel like I've always been a fan of like the underdogs. And last year I got like I feel like they were like always the underdog in every game and everything like that. And I just felt like I want to be a part of something like that. I want to help build something. I want to be a part of the building. It's not always about the big guy up top, but I feel like that underdog mentality is what I really enjoy and what I really like. That's how I always grew up like that. So that's really what it was.
You feel about you'll be blocking for Aaron Rodgers, a future Hall of Famer. How's that feel?
I mean, it's crazy. And I was telling somebody this a while ago. I was like, my great grandkids will never even like believe me when I tell them I blocked for Lamar and the GOAT Aaron Rodgers. So it'll be fun, man. It's gonna be fun.